This stuff don't work that way. This is still extremely hard. Basically, extremely high. I wish it would last longer. What's up everyone? Mike here, Rusty Garage and Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take the Eastonmade MS324 and we've got some hickory right here on the ground. We're going to go ahead and get it all busted down into manageable sizes and get it stacked up in a row over to the side so we can get it processed and get it put in IBC totes. I'm going to go ahead and start with some of these bigger rounds I got staged over here on the south end just because I'm not sure if it's all going to be good or not. So I want to go ahead and get it busted down, and if it's not going to be good, I'll just pick it up and go toss it in the brush pile so it's out of our hair. But I think for the most part, all this stuff's fairly green, so it's going to be fine. It's these pieces over here, which actually, a lot of these I've noodled up on. They've been off the ground. I think some of that's probably just going to be needing to bust down to regular size, and that's probably going to be ready to burn this year. It's a couple of these ones that I'm not so sure about. Some of these were up off the ground, so we'll see. Once we get it busted open, we'll see what it looks like. And I'll go ahead and do a moisture content on some of this stuff once we get it busted open. So we'll get you guys set up, we'll get the bomb light fired up and start getting some of the stuff split up. Okay, well, looking at it, it don't look awful. It actually looks like it's probably about ready to go. Let me grab the moisture meter. We'll give this a test. So here, this was a piece fairly from the inside. It's still high. You guys can see that. 23%. It's 30. 26. Okay. This is 14. Alright, it's gonna be fine. We just need to get it broke down. So I'll go ahead and bust this piece down and we'll keep moving on. This little moisture meter has come in extremely handy. I just keep it on the Ranger. I'll put links to this down in the description. You can get it on Amazon. My buddy Travis from Travis's Firewood sent me this. It's coming real handy. This is what I don't like about split hickory. It's so stringy. Whenever it's fairly green, it stays bound together. Not as bad as sycamore and elm around here, but hickory's pretty rough. It smells good, but it's a pain to split. hickory bark's so tough you could burn it. Hickory is just tough wood all around. Dang hickory bark. Y'all tell me a bark that's tougher than hickory bark. That stuff, it's hard to pull off. It's best to cut these hickories and leave them lay for a year or so off the ground, because that bark will pull away from the wood like a lot of these pieces have. But still, that stuff's tough to try to pull off of there. It ain't like a pine that you can scribe with your saw and start taking your axe and going around it. This stuff don't work that way. But we're gonna call that a video because I'm about out of gas. I need to go get some gas for the tractor, the Bommalite, the lawnmower, all that stuff. I've diminished my surplus of gasoline. But I really just wanted to see how well the Eastonmade MS324 would do against some hickory that's been sitting for a while and some that was fairly green, because there is quite a bit of green hickory in here still. And honestly, it did a really good job. When you have nice straight pieces of hickory with not a lot of knots, it does split pretty good. It is still stringy. Normally that lasts a little bit. You always have to kind of rip it apart because it likes to hang on. But any of y'all that have axes and stuff like that, you know, most of your handles are hickory wood, and that's some really, really tough wood. Now, most of these pieces, like I mentioned, I just busted them down into manageable size pieces, so we ain't got to pick up heavy rounds or anything like that. And we'll bring the other splitter down here and get all this stuff processed soon. But just doing that, if it wasn't for stopping and moving the camera so much, I did leave the camera up in a spot where you guys seen I could just go back and forth picking up rounds and breaking them down. It actually went really fast doing that. And after I get so many rounds broke down, I'd stop, put them in the stack, and continue on. If you had somebody here with you that could stack while you were going, you could really go through some wood in a hurry. But let me show y'all what we got done. If you guys remember what it looked like before, there was rounds all through here. Still got some of these older big ones right over here, and the Bommalite we're down to, that's empty right there. That's a quarter. So in between empty and a quarter. This thing, I love this machine. Now I don't remember exactly how big the gas tank is on the Bommalite, but when it's full and you're working it hard, running the grapple or the splitter, just high idle, running back and forth doing stuff, you're gonna get roughly 4.5 hours of work out of it before you're gonna have to stop and put fuel in it. Again, I don't know how big the tank is, so I don't know how much fuel it's going through in those 4.5 hours, but I wish it would last longer. I wish I had a bigger tank on it where I could go, you know, 5, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours on a tank of fuel. But I get why they do that. Having a smaller tank, you are going to be going through it more, so chances are you're going to keep fresh gas in it all the time. But that Eastonmade splitter paired up with that is a heck of a combination. For breaking down these big rounds, it works fantastic. Again, I don't think I was out here not even an hour getting all this stuff split. Now I did stop quite a bit for stacking, and then I was, because I had just a pile of rounds just kind of laid out, no rhyme or reason, so I would get off and kind of stage several of them in rows where I could just go up there, pick them up, and bring them over towards the pile and split them down. So like with everything else, if you had a second set of hands, it's going to make all the difference. But I am happy with how it split. It is, it's over 5.5 foot tall. This hickory wood, that's some green stuff. You can see where the bark's coming off of that. So it's been down for a little while, but it is still good wood. I'm gonna go ahead and put the moisture meter in this because I know it's fairly green, just because I'm curious. Okay, let's see. %, 47. High, basically, extremely high. This stuff did get bucked up recently. That's showing about the same, which makes sense because when I say recently, I mean this morning. That one is high. It's all going to be high. And let's take a peek at some of this old stuff. This is still extremely hard, and it's not doty. 15.6 right there, and that's about a 1/2 inch from this outside edge. So it is August still. It's going to be, I think, up to 95 degrees today, 92 by noon, I think is what they said. So this stuff will dry out once we get it split down into, you know, hand-sized pieces, put it in an IBC tote, stick it up on the hill where it gets a lot of wind. Yeah, it's like a blow dryer out here. This stuff will dry out in a hurry. But I think we need one more tote to put us at 8 large IBC totes. And last year, that's what Dad and myself went through, was around 8 IBC totes. It wasn't all the tall ones, and last year's wood was pretty junky stuff. So the 4 totes of oak, or the 6 totes of oak that we got, 7 totes of oak, is a lot better quality wood. So that stuff's probably going to last better than the stuff that we burned last year. So we're going to be good on wood for us this year. Now it's time to really start splitting and getting wood put up to try to sell this year, or just get a bunch of wood cut and split ready for next year. So being August, we do have, I don't know, another 2 to 3 weeks anyways of this 90+ degree weather. Then it's going to start cooling off a little, 80, 70, 60, stuff like that. So I am about ready for it to start cooling off some. When it's a little cooler, it makes the wood cutting and splitting a whole lot more enjoyable. If you haven't given the video a thumbs up, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.